What's going on, guys? Sean Don is back with the technical analysis. Here we have Tony Sommers back for his second technical analysis. Got to hang out with Tony this weekend at Long Beach. Got to ride his boosted board. It's pretty sweet. So, yeah, let's get into it. He said this is like a 75-80% effort throw. He has the tendency to, like anytime he pushes any higher than this, he has a tendency to kind of break down. So let's take a look and see what happens. At first look, it looks like your low point is very off to the to your left, and that can make things hard. The hammer rises too much over the right side, in my opinion, in the entry. I kind of have the same problem, which is why once you pump the intensity up, things probably break down. Because once that hammerhead gets high over on this right side, on your right side in the entry, things can get tough. You got to pull your right side around to pull the ball around. And yeah, so let's break it down. Like I said, so the winds, bent legs, stable posture, pretty solid. So yeah, I'd say try to make your winds bigger. They're quite steep, and I want big horizontal circles. Whereas right now they're kind of going more up and down than around. So you're not really, you can see your hands are very extended outstretched from your body. And once again, you can see the steepness as the ball comes back through on your left side. But yeah, so big thing here, like I said, is bigger winds, bigger, flatter winds. First wind doesn't matter so much, but the second wind has to be bigger and flatter. That way it can be more similar to the throw itself. If it's too steep, if the ball drops too much on your left side, the ball will shoot back up as it does on the right side. So, yeah, bigger, flatter winds, and then otherwise, as you come through, so I'll come through 90 over here. You're doing a good job shifting over to this right side, stable right side axis. Let's see how many times I mess up the whole left-handed, right-handed thing here. And so far, so good, I think. But yeah, as you can see, as the ball comes through 0, you do a good job of setting up this right side axis. Really good job there, and you do a good job of sending the ball around it. It's just the ball is too low. I think you should try to get your hands up a little bit more. Maybe you can push your hips a little bit more forward to keep your chest up. But if your hands are up more about sternum height, as you can see, they're kind of about belly button height, sternum height, chest height, and cast the ball in a little bit flatter with your low point, a little bit closer to this right foot, that'll definitely change some things. I think that'll help you out. Whereas, like I said, right now the ball rises so much over this, over your right side. You see, so like these few frames right here, you're doing a good job waiting for it. But then you start to rise with it. So it's very subtle. Right there. You rise with the ball just a bit. If anything, at this point, you should be starting to drop your hips down. Don't sit your hips back, but if anything, you need to bend your left knee. Sorry, your right knee. Bend your right knee. Drop it towards 180. If you drop that right knee towards 180, it'll kind of gives you the pendulum effect a little bit. As the ball rises, you'll drop just a bit, and that'll help control your path through the circle a little bit more. Whereas right now, you can see, like I said, you rise up, and then you rise up with the ball right here, just slightly, and then you sink with the ball just slightly there as well. But nice job. I mean, like I said, casting the ball around this right side in the entry, it looks pretty nice. It's just that high point. It's too high. The ball rises too much over this right side in the entry. And then what happens is it comes crashing down on you here. And pretty solid catch on posture, which is good. But the ball comes crashing down. If the ball is too heavy on your left side, it's going to make it hard to use that left side. So the tendency is going to be to kind of pull the right side back. But I mean, like it looks like you're doing a pretty solid job here. Waiting for the ball. A solid job. Let's see. Looks like you could just run the ball just a bit longer, like you said. If you have the tendency to have a longer second turn, longer, harder second turn, you kind of throws things off as well. But this is definitely what could help out a little bit if you just wait for the ball to pass just a little bit more. And then kind of the same thing, drop this right knee towards 180 so you can get down and in on the ball and back against the ball a little bit earlier. You can see you get pulled around this left side a little bit because you don't quite run it long enough. That right foot, the ball isn't quite in the direction of the sector yet. The energy of the ball needs to be going towards 180 for you to complete your turn, whereas right now you can see because this high point is so much off to the left, camera view left, that makes it hard, and the direction of the energy of the ball is kind of more towards this sector line. So that's kind of why you get pulled over there. So you just need to wait and let the ball go longer around you. You need to stay in the center and then let the ball kind of pull you towards 180. Drop that right knee towards the ground, catch, and then you can see your catch pretty early and pretty staggered here. Once again, this is because I think you don't quite let the ball go long enough in that second turn. Otherwise, once again, solid, decent posture, a little bit heavy on this left leg, but doing a good job waiting for the ball once again. Left sides with the ball, really nice. And then at this point, yeah, same thing. Looks like you're letting the ball get to 270 pretty well. But then you're very quick with this right leg. It goes more so around, as you can see, you kind of peel off, plantar flexed, toe pointed towards the ground, and then it kind of comes around this left leg. What might help is to try to think of it as more of like a piston, an A-skip, going up and down, driving up and down over this left calf instead of kind of going around the left ankle. If you go up and over and step more in the direction of the sector, I think that might help with the direction of the throw a little bit. Right now you're a little bit rotational. I think that comes from this right leg movement. I think it even happens in the previous turn as well. Once again, yeah, plantar flex kind of comes around rather than up and down, and that's why you have to kind of pull this right side around to get the ball around again, and then yeah, so you kind of just have a little bit too much rotational energy, I think. So like I said, dropping your right knee towards 180 as the ball approaches this, as it gets in the direction of the sector might help a little bit, and then also just trying to make this left leg single support action a little bit more up and down rather than rotational. As you can see, it comes around and then you kind of put it down almost prematurely. Catching deep is good, but if you don't work the ball long enough and if you don't have the right movements in the right direction, then it can actually be a hindrance. I think that's kind of what happens for you. You catch super early and then you're doing a really good job waiting for the ball. It's just this left leg is a little bit inefficient. Yeah, you can see, especially in this turn, like your double support is pretty good. You're waiting for it, doing a good job, like all the way through here. But then, as you can see, this left leg starts to get a little wild. Let's see what else. Looks like you're kind of, no, pretty good. You can see you're really getting your hips into the throw. That's good. But this left leg just, yeah, like I said, gets really wide, and you can kind of pulled over this this right leg, get pulled back around. You see, you're kind of spinning your wheels, and then same thing. That right leg kind of comes around, or left leg kind of comes around, and you catch, and then you got to kind of really fight your way out of it and pull across your body just to get it back out in the sector. So yeah, those last two turns or so, just got to wait for the ball. Wait for it, relax, work backwards, up and down, back and forth, not so much around. The ball will take you around. It has its rotational momentum already. What might also help would be, another thing you could do is try to, so along with dropping this right knee towards 180, another thing you need to do is try to get your left hip more underneath your body on the catch. Like I said, you're catching a little bit shallow, so your hips are just a little bit back. And if your hips are a little bit back, then that means you're going to have to kind of pull the right side around to, once again, like I said, get the ball around. So if you caught with this left hip more forwards and this right shoulder kind of back more over this right side, that I think would also help with working the ball and staying patient, because if you catch too early right here and your feet are too staggered, which looks like they kind of are, it's impossible to get this left hip around into the throw entirely, and you do a good job up until about here, and then you have to pick up because you're too staggered, you're too closed off, and because of that you get pulled around, so you can't totally finish the turn. You do about like 75 to 80% of the turn right, but it's that last 20% that kind of gets you, and that's why you get pulled around a bit and then really track down this left sector line. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I'd say that's pretty much all I got for you. Like I said, bigger, flatter winds, a little flatter entry, or at least get your low point a little bit closer to that left foot. And then, yeah, definitely flatten that out. Try to get your low point and high point more towards 0 and 180 respectively. And then just keep waiting for the ball to pass more. You can see there's a little right side tension being created there if you just waited for the ball to pass just. If the ball got to there while your head and body were still right there, just a little bit, goes a long way. And then, like I said, drop that right knee towards 180 and get that left leg single support action more like a piston up and down rather than around. And then the longer you wait for the ball to pass, the easier it'll be to do the rest of the stuff if you don't catch so staggered. Catching staggered, like I said, really blocks your hips out, so you can't quite get them all the way through and complete the turn. So hopefully that helps you, Tony. Let me know if you have any questions. If anybody else out there wants a technical analysis of their own, go to SeanDonnelly.biz, sign up for an in-depth technical analysis, and start making them gains. Oh, sorry, it's my off day. Just took a nap on my hammock. It was good. It was nice, relaxing. But, alright, that's all I got for you. Sean Don, peace now.